children of illegal immigrants claim they were pepper sprayed, strapped to chairs and poked in the ribs with pens at detention centers as details of cruel treatment emerge from lawsuits filed against the government. More details have emerged about allegations of the mistreatment of migrant children in shelters and detention centers across the country. Among the claims made by children in the lawsuits are that staff force-fed them drugs referred to as vitamins, strapped them to an emergency restraint chair, poked them in the ribs with pens, assaulted them and pepper-sprayed their eyes. It comes after details of a class-action lawsuit filed in April in California were revealed, including allegation undocumented children were held down and injected with psychiatric drugs. One boy, referred to as John Doe II, is one of the children whose claims are included in a lawsuit against the government over alleged unlawful and inappropriate detention of minors. The ninth grader was separated from his mother after he was stopped by police last spring, who found out she brought him into the United States illegally when he was younger. He alleges that he was handcuffed, poked by pens, bruised and strapped to a chair in a statement seen by CNN. John Doe II had been sent to Shenandoah Valley Juvenile Center after harming himself and others and because of his anxiety, ADHD and intermittent explosive disorder. The facility denied allegations of assault and explained that it uses an emergency restraint chair only as a last resort when children show aggressive behavior. They also use a mask on the children to stop them from spitting or biting staff, Shenandoah added. One of the lawyers involved in suing the government over the shelters, Holly Cooper, said, "There seems to be a level of cruel intent I've never seen before and a real indifference to the well-being of a child." Virginia Governor Ralph Northam, meanwhile, said there would be an investigation into the facility. The Shenandoah Center is one of only 3 juvenile detention facilities in the United States with federal contracts to provide secure placement for immigrant children who had problems at less restrictive housing. The center was built by a coalition of 7 nearby towns and counties to lock up local kids charged with serious crimes. Since 2007, about half the 58 beds are occupied by male and female immigrants between the ages of 12 and 17 facing deportation proceedings or awaiting rulings on asylum claims. It received $4.2 million in federal funds last year to house the immigrant children. On average, 92 immigrant children each year cycle through Shenandoah, most of them from Mexico and Central America. Though incarcerated in a facility similar to a prison, the children detained on administrative immigration charges have not yet been convicted of any crime. As part of a federal class action lawsuit, young immigrants held at the Shenandoah facility said in sworn statements they were beaten while handcuffed and locked up for long periods in solitary confinement, left nude and shivering in concrete cells. Children as young as 14 also said the guards there stripped them of their clothes and strapped them to chairs with bags placed over their heads. Senators Mark Warner and Tim Kaine sent to the head of the U.S. Office of Refugee Resettlement questions about the center. In court filings, lawyers for the detention facility have denied all allegations of physical abuse. The senators asked whether regulators had received any past complaints involving the facility located near Staunton, Virginia. The Democrats also want to know whether there is a system in place to discipline staff members who abuse children in federal custody. Officials at the Department of Health and Human Services, which includes the Refugee Resettlement Office, have refused to provide any comment this week about when they first learned of the abuse allegations and whether any action has been taken to determine the veracity of those claims. At Shiloh Treatment Center in Texas, meanwhile, other children have described being assaulted by staff. A boy from El Salvador aged 13 said he was left with bruises after staff caught him trying to run away from the center. He said he was also given drugs to calm him down despite asking to be left alone. Other children at Shiloh said they were forced to take drugs referred to as vitamins, with one, an 11-year-old girl, claiming she was given 10 pills a day. She added in her statement, "I do not feel safe here." Other children referred to in the court documents said the drugs gave them severe side effects, including one who put on 45 pounds in 2 months and another who said the drugs left her unable to walk. The Shiloh Treatment Center has not commented on the lawsuit.